Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, Delightful Creations. I'm Amber. I'm so excited you are here today. It's Mass Make March Hop 2025, hosted by DJ over at Hither and Yon Studio. I'm so excited to be a part of this, you guys. It's an amazing opportunity. I'm just so excited to show you my mass make. We've gone through the week of making a bunch of different items like specimen slides, book bag pouches, corner pockets, hidden paper clips, CD flips, belly bands and tucks, and me, tag booklets. So I'm the last day of the lineup. I'm going to have a playlist on my channel and all the information down below in the description box. If you can hear, I'm a little bit under the weather. So my video today will be pretty short because I may end up losing my voice, but I'm really excited. I've been playing with tag booklets all week long. So we are going to be making something like these. So these are all the different ones that I started making, and I started out with the idea of just a simple tag booklet. So it is a 3x6 tag, and it's folded in half, and it's got fun little pockets, a couple pieces of paper, right? Things tucked in the back, but also we've got a pocket at the top. Okay, that's the simplest design, and I made this with a 12x12 paper, and I just cut it in half to 6 inches. And then I got a little bit fancier from there. And so this is my most deluxe version of that. So this is a full 12x12 paper. And I love that it's double-sided. I love that it's really big. It's really loaded. This is almost like a folio type of thing. So I've got a pocket here on the side and the front. And then pocket here. I wanted to leave this blank because I was going to add my little boy here. Isn't he just handsome? Oh my gosh, that was when he wasn't going into kindergarten, so it was a couple years ago. But then we've got 3 pockets up here at the top that you can tuck fun things in. And then you've got a pocket down here, and then you go to the back side, and I've got another little pocket here and a big book page pocket back here. So lots and lots of room for you to add your own little touches too. This one is really thick, but we're going to make this one on camera today, and then we're going to make one of these on camera, and then I'll do a quick little book page pocket. I literally made this little one here with a scrap. Excuse me. A lot of times in my journals, I use a full 12x12 sheet, and I cut it down to 8.5 because that's about what my pages typically are, and this is the scrap of that paper left over. Made a cute little tag booklet. And this is just a book page. It's not done. These are in various stages, and you could choose to just use one, like the whole page, or you can cut it in half, and I'll show you what I mean here in a second. This was just an 8.5 by 11, and I used the whole thing. I folded it up, and I sewed a couple of pages in there. So fun, so quick, so easy, different sizes, different shapes. Obviously, you can use music paper, whatever, wallpaper, wrapping paper, whatever you have on hand. I wanted to make mine using Hither and Yon's from her shop, her papers, but my printer was printing and then it went wackadoodle. I don't know what happened. It just ran out of blue ink, so I tried it again. I cleaned it and everything else, and all I could get to print was orange, which is just terrible. These are her digital wallpaper kit, but it doesn't look great. This is probably the closest one to what it actually looks like in the kit. So we're going to go ahead and start with this. I'm just going to turn my paper over. I'm going to fold it lengthwise. Super easy. There's no measuring. The only cutting you have to do is for your tag corners. And I have my handy dandy little tag cutter here. And then I just fold it in half. Nice and easy. And then I'm going to fold right up to that halfway line. Right there, touching it. And this one did not print borderless, but that's okay. Not too worried about it. And give us a little gap. There we go. That's it. And then we just cut the corners. Super easy. I mean, you can see how addictive this can be. You can make them as fancy as you want, as big as you want, as small as you want even. And yeah, I just think they're going to be fun to pop into a journal. You could put them in a pocket. Look at that. So what I would do with this one, because it's double-sided, I would put, if I were going to put papers in here, I would put them right here, like you've seen on the other ones, right in the center. That's where I like to put my papers. But if you wanted to get more bang for your buck, you can just cut this in half, right? And then you would end up with one very simple one, the first one that I did here. which is this one, where it doesn't have any of those extra flips. Same with this, right? There's no extra flips. But that's your choice if you want to do that. So that's the first one. And then you have a pocket here on each one of these tops. So you can end up with 4 different pockets for your tags, and you can do them on the side, on the 2 ends, and then the top loading ones there, or you can do them all top loading, whatever you like. So that's an 8.5 by 11 sheet. This is the 12 by 12 paper cut in half to 6 inches. So this is 6 inches by 12 inches. I'm going to do the exact same thing. It doesn't matter what size your paper is. It just kind of depends on what shape you like. Okay, just like that, right in half, and then fold it again in half, right up to that line. It's super easy. Like, there's no really thinking. You can sit and do this project, I mean, in no time. And I made a whole bunch of tags last year, and so I got really good at thinking about creating different things with tags. All right, and I am going to do this one. We'll go ahead and use the small corner this time instead of my medium corner, because why not? You can ink, you can add lace and fabrics and all the things that we all love, doilies. And so this one I would glue along the long edge and the bottom of my 2 outer flaps so that I still have these wonderful tag shaped pockets at the top. And I'll glue this one on the edge. Super simple. There we go. I've got glue on my fingers. Always a good day when you got glue on your fingers. Okay, and then right here is where we're going to pop in some papers. So I'm just going to grab, there's a super grungy coffee dyed paper. I think DJ will like that. And then the only type of measuring that I do is I just line it up on my tag booklet, and I'm watching where my corners are, and I'm lining it up. And then I'm going to come to my edge. I'm going to use my tear ruler just because that's what I've been using lately. I come in a little bit and then I just rip. Just like that. I watch the bottom. Okay, I want to come up a little bit. I want to make sure it's going to stay in my tag booklet. And I like varying the size a little bit of my pages. And this will be great for a small little booklet, so don't throw that away. And then this one, going to be about the same. It's okay if it's not. There we go. And then you can rip all 4 edges if you wanted to. For this one, I'm not going to. I'm just going to do the 2. And there you go. And for mine, I like to add 3 pages. Now you can see this one's going to be a little bit too small. That one's going to be a little bit too small. So out of an 8.5 by 11, you get 2 full sheets of papers to put in there. Well, I thought it would be fun. Let's go ahead and add one of these. This is a page, a journal. And oh, look at that. It's like almost perfect. And just because I don't want it to have that on the bottom there, I'm going to rip it right above that pink line. And then on the back side, it's got some fun things too. And then I'll just pop this one in between these 2 pages. Just give it a little variation, right? There we go. Run this over to your sewing machine, or you can pamphlet stitch it. You can even staple it if your stapler will reach. Mine won't. Mine is a mini stapler. I do have a bigger one. So I'm just going to run to the sewing machine. I'll be right back. I mean, literally in no time at all, I've got that done. Now I know that this is 3 inches, you know, each way. So this is 6 here. So what I was doing for my tags on the inside, I was actually making my tags that would fit inside of here 2.75 by 5.75. So that I don't have to worry, really, as long as I don't sew too crookedly, that I can just go ahead and mass make my tags for inside the pockets that are this particular size. So I just took it down 1/4 of an inch. See? Super quick. I mean, it's just in no time. And then I've got my little bin here of things that I like to decorate with. And this is where I have my little book plate type of things. And I just pop one on the front, ink it up. You could add brads or jemmies or whatever you like. Of course, now I can't find my inker. There it is. And you can just go to town. You can actually turn it into like a little booklet. Like this looks like a little booklet. I think that's so cute. This is the first design that I came up with. And then I was like, well, what if people don't have 12x12 paper? What if they don't like that? So that's when I decided to use the letter, which is 8.5 by 11 here in the US. And then we just add a little glue. Fancy this up a bit. There we go. So fun, so quick, so easy. I'm telling you guys, once you make one, you're not going to want to stop. And now let's make a big one with the 12 by 12 paper. So here's my 12 by 12 paper. And you're just going to take it. And I would say you would want to, this is a good project for thin 12 by 12 paper. And that's, and obviously single-sided. So I have a lot of this in my stash. I was a big scrapbooker and card maker back when I first started paper crafting. So I've got a lot of paper pads. Plus I just like paper. Okay, we're going to fold it in half. Fold it in half again. I'm telling you, there's no more measuring. I can't. I love projects where I can just fold. I don't have to think. I'm going to fold. Okay, so now this part you got to think. All right, you folded it down. This piece you want to fold back on itself. And this is to make the fancy for Z fold. That's my, my version of fancy. And then I just flip it over, do the same thing again. Fold it down on itself. Right to the edge. Line it up best you can. There we go. And then grab your cutter, whatever you're using, and round your corners. Cut them down. Whatever tag shape that you like. So simple, so fun. I just can't believe I haven't ever thought of making these before. So then we've got our book page, or I'm sorry, our scrapbook paper for pocket thing. And again, if I were going to put pages in here, I would put them in the middle. That's just my preference. You can totally stick them here if you wanted, or even here. And then I just glue my two ends. So it's very little, very minimal supplies. You don't have to glue the bottom on this one. You only have to glue your two ends. And like I said, you don't have to even glue those, because if you wanted to have it be an opening on this edge, you wouldn't have to glue that either. You would just glue it along your top edge. Okay, but this one I'll just make all four corners. There we go. I'm telling you, isn't that cute? Doesn't get any easier than that. Now, just for an example, here I'm going to grab my journal, and then I'll be all done. Oops. So this is my treasure journal that I've been working in. I'm going to grab the big blue one that I've already got done. And you can see, I don't know if I'm going to have an empty pocket here. Let's just see if I can find, here's one. It's a little bit fat. This paper was thicker, so it's a little bit fat for a pocket. Like that size, you would want a big, nice pocket. Like probably something like this, back behind here. And it does add a lot of bulk doing it that way, but I just think it's so fun. If you didn't want to do that, you could always have the option to take it here. Let's see if I can find something kind of blank here. And you could paper clip it in, right? And so you would have fun thing on your edge here, and you can just paper clip that in and take it in and out. Another thing you can do, which is what I was going to do with some of mine, is not particularly with this one, but let's just say, for example, this one. I would take one of my edges and put it over the page like this, and I would glue this down here and make this a tuck, and then you would have your tag pocket here at the top as well. And then you can also paper clip that in because it's pretty bulky, right? And then this can flip open and be just a fun little interactive piece on your page. I love interactive things. I've learned that is something that I really enjoy having in my journals. And so if that's what you like as well, this is just so fun. I mean, you can add photos, tons of journaling. You can't even see on camera. There's like, I mean, just amazing. It's a fun little decorative element. So there's plenty of options. Another idea that I had for this is just pop this right into your journal. And I got this idea because it is in this journal. It's right here. So this is a treasure tag that I made last year. It's just 3. It's a big giant one, but you could just sew it into the journal. One of these. You just take it and pop it in, face down, right here. Sew it into your journal, and then you would have a little tag flip it like this. So you would sew it right here in the middle, and then you can have it shut in your journal. So when you come to that journal page, right, it's going to be sewn in there. So you wouldn't see, let me grab DJ's paper here. You wouldn't see the other side of that, right? You'd only see this side. But look at how cute that is. That is still a really cute little page, I think. Yeah. So anyways, tons and tons of fun to be had. Mass Make March Hop 2025. If you're going to be making some tag booklets or any of the other creators, the specimen slides that DJ made were super cute, super easy. Never thought about using like contact or clear plastic paper or using vellum. I mean, she just has great ideas, you guys. So check it out. I'm going to have a playlist down below. You can see how many of these I've made. And I've made them all within probably, I don't know, 30 minutes or so. Here is the lineup once again. Thank you so much for having me here. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you soon in the next video. Bye, guys.